Good evening, everybody. Welcome to, I guess it's number 10 of our Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, the voice of the Wilmot Raceway and other area racing from time to time. And looking forward to a great program tonight. We've got lots of special guests that are going to be joining us literally from all over the Midwest and about a lot of events that are going to be coming up in the next week or so. So we'll get to them very, very shortly. We're going to start out, though, with a little bit of a report on some folks that have been injured and folks also that are sick, and I want to pass that along. First of all, Papa B, Mark, who is Mia Populous' grandpa. Mia is a co-announcer with me. She's been doing some announcing with me of late, and her father, or her grandfather exactly, dropped or fell Saturday night while she was at the races. She had to rush home to make sure things were okay. He is recovering, we understand now, and was supposed to go back home actually today. So our thoughts and prayers go out with Papa B, as they like to refer to him, otherwise known as Mark. And that's Mia Populous' grandfather. Sean Stykes, mud scraper Sean Stykes, as he likes to refer to himself. He just helps out everybody and is always got a smile and a laugh and a joke and very cordial in the pit area. He's been actually on my podcast before, and we'll try to get him on again, but he's been undergoing some health issues and is recovering in a hospital in the Chicago area. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you, Sean, and we want to see you back at the races real soon. Also, Lance Fosbender was injured up at Plymouth Dirt Track last weekend. Understand he suffered some burns and is recovering from those burns. And Miles Doherty took a hard tumble at the Wilmot Raceway during wingless qualifying last week. And our thoughts and prayers go out with Miles. We understand he is also recovering. They did transfer him from one hospital to another. But the report we got is that he is coming along, and we hope to see him back at the races real soon. We did lose a couple of folks that we remembered last week. Bob Warren passed away, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Warren family. Jacob Billis, who was with Brad Becker's pit crew. Brad is one of our bandit drivers. He very unexpectedly passed away at the age of 21. Just a few weeks ago. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them, to his family. And Tom Seeps, a 30-year fire chief with the Trevor and Salem Lakes Fire Departments, which have a great partnership with Wilmot Raceway. He passed away within the last week or so. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And Dan Bentonen, who was a Hall of Famer in 2008, a car builder and a driver. They're going to have a Remembrance Day on the 29th coming up in a couple of weeks. And Johnny Z from Johnny Z's Poorhouse, a supporter of Wilmot Raceway and of a number of our race car competitors. His mother, Esther Ziamba, passed away last week. So our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And the last one I want to mention is a gentleman, coach. As it says, he was a coach, a father, just a great guy, a teacher, and a friend to a lot of folks, a family member, Dave Yates. Try and get this a little bit better. There you go. Dave Yates, who was a longtime coach at Fremd High School down in Palatine, passed away from a battle with cancer at age of 54. And that happened just a week ago today. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his players, the Fremd community, Just a really great guy. It was kind of ironic when I stopped by the visitation today. I talked to his mother, told her I was a referee, and she laughed and she goes, "Well, we don't recognize the referees without their stripes on." And I actually earlier had a green shirt, had a little bit of green in it because that's Frem's colors, and that was Dave's request. He didn't want anybody dressed up. He wanted people just to come kind of as they are. And then when I spoke to his widow and his daughter and told them that I was a referee and refereed his last game that he ever coached at Frem High School, a sectional championship game last spring, the first thing his wife said with a laugh was, "Did you ever give him a technical foul? Did he ever yell at you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know about the yell," but I said, "No, I never did give Dave a technical foul." So a great guy, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and the entire Frem community. And one thing I noticed when I was at the visitation, they had some T-shirts about being Yates strong or Dave strong, because he was diagnosed about 2 years ago with his cancer and did battle it even up to the very end. And he was even coaching his daughter's travel team just 2 weeks ago. But on the back of that shirt, it said, "Leave a legacy." Leave a legacy. And he certainly did that. And that kind of gives us a natural lead in to last Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. Last Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway, I had the pleasure of recognizing some folks that have left a legacy at Wilmot. Not that they've passed away or not that they've even moved away from Wilmot Raceway. But Steve Sinclair, who has been a great friend of mine and a great supporter of Wilmot Raceway. He still handles and does everything for the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint cars, the wingless sprints, and the Lightning sprints. All three of those are under the IRA's tutelage. Steve spent 15 years pretty much as the race director of Wilmot Raceway. He's got contacts you would not believe. He can pick up the phone and talk to a lot of great race car drivers and promoters. I also recognize the Tennyson family, Garrett and Tom in this picture. Garrett, the youngest son, and Tom is the dad. And I recognize them with Henry Babicz Achievement Awards. My dad was always kind of the guy behind the scenes. Steve received that award for being the guy behind the scenes. And also the Tennyson family received that award. Also their mom, Kim, their brother, Cody, just doing a lot of things behind the scenes to help IRA racing, Wilmot Raceway racing, and racing in general. So it was a lot of fun. Had to do some work to make it a surprise, but we did make it a surprise and made the presentation in Victory Lane last week before our Father's Day program at Wilmot Raceway. So congratulations go out to Steve and the Tennyson family. I'll be definitely working with Steve again coming up during the Kenosha County Fair. Kenosha County Fair races for the IRA, all three IRA divisions on that Saturday night. The Roger Isles tribute, and also the Tennyson family. We'll see them, and I talked to Cody a lot. Cody has helped me out quite a bit with my being able to do my press releases in a much easier fashion. So again, congratulations to them. The IRA actually this week, starting tomorrow night, they're going to be down in Indiana for an Indiana Speed Weeks sweep, and you can watch them on Flow Racing. And Cody is very involved with Flow Racing as well as with My Race Pass. So we'll be taking in that action this weekend when the IRA is down in Indiana. So, speaking of the Wilmot Raceway, though, we want to give you some race results. And we start off with the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint car. And it was Mike Reinke. Mike Reinke out of Howards Grove, Wisconsin, winning his first feature at Wilmot in quite a long time. And his first feature with the IRA in about 2 years, I believe. And since 2021, I think it was, the last time he won a feature event, and that was at Beaver Dam Raceway. And it's been quite a long time since Mike picked up a win at Wilmot. Finishing in second spot was Paul Neinheiser. He's out of Chapin, Illinois. And taking third spot was actually someone that we've had on as a guest, Blake Nemi. out of Oswego, Illinois. So it was a great show, a great event, and that was for the IRA sprint cars. The B&L Office Furniture, I've heard that name somewhere. He provides this great set that we have. And the B&L Office Furniture Great American Tire and Auto Bandits, the feature event went to Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, another past guest here on the program. And also Brad Becker finished in second spot. And actually, Brad's going to be on the program next week. And third spot went to Craig Cruiser out of Kenosha. The Autometer, powered by Gandrud Performance, Wisconsin Wingless Sprints, Catalyst Exhibits, Wilmot Championship, Wingless Sprint Cars. That feature win went to a guy that we're going to talk to a little bit later on in the program, Tim Cox. Tim Cox out of Park City, Illinois, who's won in just about anything that you can drive with four-wheelers, wheels, and a steering wheel at Wilmot Raceway. And we're going to talk to Tim a little bit later on in the program. Finishing in second was another driver who we've had as a guest here on the program, Eric Wilkie out of Genesee, Wisconsin. And third spot went to another past guest here on the program, Ryan Marshall, the Kansasville Comet. He finished up in third spot, and finishing fourth was Chris Klemko out of Bristol, and fifth, another past guest here on the program, Jimmy Sivia out of Winthrop Harbor, Illinois. The Street Stock division was a wild feature, and scoring the feature win, his second of the season, Josh Gehrig out of Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. Finishing in second spot was one of our sponsors' sons, that is Robbie Olson out of Lindenhurst. His dad, Rob Olson, and Midwest Motor Coach, Olson Transportation, one of our sponsors here of the program. Rob finished up in third spot in the Street Stock, the Unified Street Stock feature event. So those are the results from Wilmot Raceway this coming weekend. We've got the USAC National Sprint Cars, the AMSOIL Series, coming to the Wilmot Raceway. Also, our own wingless sprints and the 1175 IRA Lightning Sprints will also be in action. And it was Brian Strain Jr. scoring the win last weekend up at Plymouth for the Lightning Sprints, and he's just winning everything. And we've had him on the program also, and he'll be looking for, I think, feature win number 4 altogether at Wilmot this coming Saturday night. But we've got a lot of guests that are going to be racing this Saturday night at Wilmot. We'll be talking to them a little bit more about that later on in the program. Now we're going to, as they say, shift gears, and we're going to bring in our straight racer. I know on oval tracks you go straight for a little bit, but then you kind of make a turn. We're going to bring in our expert from the Great Lakes Dragaway, John. John, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mike.
On Ladies' Night.
Yes.
Ladies' Night over at Great Lakes Dragaway tonight. You're actually racing. It's a little bit warm for the ladies and the gentlemen that are racing over there tonight. But tell us a little bit, first of all, about what is happening as we speak at Great Lakes Dragaway.
Well, right now we have the women's brackets going on, where the women bracket race against each other, and whoever wins that race race against the men. The men's do a bracket race, and we do a little battle of the sexes after that's over, and see who can win the whole event, either the women or the men. It's tightening up the gap here pretty close here. We got a couple more races left to see who's going to be the winner, and it's anybody's game right now. We could see, it could be men or the women. We'll find out here in the next couple weeks.
Well, when we had John last week at Culver's up there on Highway 50, and again, we want to thank, first of all, the people at Culver's were just great hosts. And I want to thank all the drivers. I mean, it would take me half the show if I listed everybody's name that came out. We ended up with about between 40 and 50 cars at various points last week. We had everything, motorcycles, drag cars, wing sprint cars, wingless sprint cars, lightning sprint cars, street stocks, bandits, you name it, we had it. We had a lot of the Gas City gang came out. John had his car there, and it was just a lot of fun. And we are going to be doing things like that again soon. We've already got one planned on Saturday, July the 27th, and that will be at Hartnell Chevrolet, just down the street from Culver's. Culver's is going to be involved in that. They may have some free samples So you may want to stop by to get some free samples over there at Hartnell Chevrolet. And that's going to be, though, during the day, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. There's action going on at Great Lakes Dragway that day. I'm sure in the afternoon and the evening. We've got racing going on at Wilmot that night. So we're going to get everybody revved up, so to speak, for all the racing action in the area by coming out to Hartnell Chevrolet on July 27th. And we'll be looking forward to that. And we've also got some other things that are going to be happening in the very near future, and we'll get to that a little bit later on in the program. But John, last week when we had John, we even had some cars kind of rev up as they went through the drive-through while we were doing the show live. First of all, you had a traveling group that were making their way through and going to make a stop at Great Lakes Dragway. I believe that happened Thursday, and tell us a little bit about how that event went.
Oh, yeah, it was huge. The 6 summer event that they do where they drive from track to track. They'll drive, make some passes if they're happy with their first pass, and they'll average them out for the whole week with the different classes to see who will win the event. It was packed. It was a packed house Thursday. It was really neat to see. They get there early. They opened the gates at 8 o'clock. They started racing about 9, and it was packed. And by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody was pretty much done with their runs and gone. But the stands were full, on both sides of the track, and the pits were full. It was a really good event. The weather, we were fortunate. The weather held out for us, and some quick times. I know the one guy with the AMX. He won the whole event, and he ran, I think, a 6:79 right out of the gate. He was good and took off, put his street tires on, put his slicks in the trailer, and away he went back to Byron for the final day on Friday. It was a good time, a lot of fun.
And now the Gas City guys, the Gas City Rollers, I think you guys call yourselves.
Bruce City Gassers.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's close. I mean,
yeah, Bruce City Gassers. That's
there we go.
Yeah.
When was your last event, and when will your next event be? I know you got a big one coming up at Great Lakes Dragway, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Actually, we were doing it. The last one we did was one of our streetcar brawls, but we're doing our big out of sight drags. That's June 28th, 29th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. We're going to have pre-66 cars that are doing the racing that are registered. It's a closed event. You have to pre-register for it. And then we've got 2 nitro altered, some nitro dragsters, some supercharged AA Gassers of America, super fast cars in the 8th mile for those that are going to be racing, and still the super stock cars. We've got a lot of neat stuff. Live music Saturday night, the band Second Chance. Our president, Mark Davis, that started the Bruce City Gassers here. He's the lead vocal there. They're a really good band that plays Saturday night after the racing is over. Family event. We want to have the people bring the kids. We're going to have a swap meet there also. Just a good time. This is our 6th annual doing it. So we got some pretty neat stuff showing up, and we got a lot of people that come back every year for it, and they love the event. And we're getting real busy now getting ready for it. That's what we've been doing pretty much all week. We're going to spruce the place up a little bit. We're painting the starting line fresh and get some fresh paint on it, and it ought to be a good time.
Well, with all this heat, that paint's probably going to run real easy for you.
Yeah, and I got to mention with the heat, there's something else that we've got going on at Great Lakes Dragway that we've brought back this year. It's called Beat the Heat for 2024, where high school students can go, and we have a police officer basically that kind of shows you how the ropes to race, and rather than racing on the street. And then you do a bracket race against other high school students, and then whoever wins that bracket race gets to beat the cop coach, basically gets to race him. And they have a kind of a car that looks like a squad car set up with the flashing lights. You get to race him. But we've got that the following. We do it on Friday nights for students. It's like $25 to race, $10 to watch if you're a student. And the next dates we got for that are July 26th, August 16th, September 20th, and October 18th. That's a pretty neat thing. We've done it before, and it's a good way for high school students to get out there, get used to the track, see what it's like, and get some pointers from our cop coach that's out there.
Well, that's for sure. And I know we've talked before that Bill Fusting with Lake County Hose and Equipment, which is one of our partners here, along with Great Lakes Dragway, that help us put this show on each and every week, that he races from time to time. And now when's the next time? We just talked about that major event coming up at the end of the month. And then after that, you've got something big coming up on the, 4th of July weekend on that Friday, Saturday? When is
Saturday,
it?
July 6th, there we got the Night of Fire. That's where we're going to have a lot of the jets that are going to, it's a really good event. A lot of jet funny cars and dragsters that will be racing. That's our Night of Fire for the 4th of July holiday. And also our group, the Bruce City Gassers and Nostalgia Superstocks, some of the other groups will be racing there. It's usually a packed house, a lot of fun, a lot of spectators, and a lot of fast cars going down the track.
Well, that's going to work out pretty good for people that like motorsports that week, because Wilmot Raceway is racing on Tuesday, July 2nd, with their carload night, as well as we're going to have fireworks that night. And then we don't do any more racing for about a week and a half.
Okay.
And, so we're off on the 6th. We actually come back the following week on the 11th, 12th, and 13th with all kinds of, we've made it a kind of a festival type weekend. The World of Outlaw sprint cars are coming in to race Friday and Saturday, but there's all kinds of parties and events and activities. There's a pancake breakfast on Saturday morning, all kinds of things. And some of our drivers are also going to be at a USO event that's going to be at Raymond Kia over in Antioch. And we want to thank Raymond Kia at the last minute. They kind of invited us to participate this last Saturday in Cars and Coffee. which was kind of fun. Great turnout of people and there were some drag cars there, some really neat custom cars. And we just had a lot of fun meeting folks, handing out a lot of schedules. Tom Eller was there with his wingless car. We're trying to talk Tom into racing something at Great Lakes Dragway sometime. We haven't quite worked that out yet. You got to see Tom to understand that, John. And Tom does a fantastic rendition of the national anthem. He did it last Saturday for us, and it was awesome. It was awesome, and maybe we'll get him to come over to Great Lakes some night when he's off from racing and can sing for you guys over there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Sure.
Yeah. But again, the USO event going on that Saturday morning. There's also the pancake breakfast over at Wilmot that Saturday. Autograph session by Bill Baylog. We're planning on getting Bill on our show here coming up sometime soon. So just a lot going on that week. Plus, parades. You can't have the 4th of July without parades. So on the 4th, the Bodycraft M3 Custom Graphics Pace Truck, we're going to be in the parade in Antioch, and also our fairest of the fair is Katie is going to be in the parade up at Summers, Wisconsin. We've got a lot of drivers that go around to different parades and events, and I'm sure it's the same for the Great Lakes Dragway. I'm sure you've got a lot of folks that go around to different events for the 4th. And we don't race on the 4th. Is Great Lakes quiet on the 4th too?
Yeah, Great Lakes Dragway is quiet on 4th of July. Yeah.
So we all get to celebrate the Independence Day and with our family and friends, and we're doing that. We're going to have to let you go here, John. Real quick again. Where can folks go for more information on Great Lakes Dragway?
Look us up at Facebook. Is really good. They're really current and active now on Facebook for Great Lakes Dragway, and also go to the website greatlakesdragway.com. And the website is pretty much updated quite a bit, and the Facebook pages really get hourly updates a lot of times, so it's kind of good. We got an intern working there this summer, and he's doing a great job, Nathan, just keeping us up to date on everything.
That's fantastic. Well, again, it's always good to see you, John. It was great to meet you in person last week at Culver's, and we'll be hoping to see you at one of the events coming up that we're going to do jointly again. This is a great partnership that we've got going between Wilmot and Great Lakes Dragway, and we're going to make sure it continues well into the future.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah. We'll talk to you later, Mike. Have a good evening. Yeah.
You too. God bless, John. Take care. That was John from Great Lakes Dragway. And before we shift gears and get some of our other guests in here, it's time to thank the folks that helped to pay the bills. We want to thank, of course, B&L Office Furniture, Great Lakes Dragway, Fox Lake Harbor, the Hunt Club of Richmond, Wilmot Raceway, also Olson Transportation, Midwest Motor Coach, Eddie and Debbie Boyd of MLS Auto Clinic, Weeby Waxon, Impressions Count, Bodycraft, Mark and Tony Maglio, Buddies, and we're going to be out to Buddies. Be watching for us. We're going to show up there on Green Street sometime real soon. We also want to thank Culver's of Paddock Lake, Steve Sinclair and the Interstate Racing Association, Lake County Honor Flight, Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, A-Main Apparel and Diecast, Lake County Hose and Equipment, and I'm just taking a 5-star Race Car Bodies, Nielsen Enterprises, Libertyville Manor, and our good friends from the Monster Truck Throwdown. And if you'd like to become involved as a marketing partner, you can get in touch with us at info@216thenet.com, and we'll bring you on board. We would love to have you. Force One Performance also helps us out. We want to thank them. And as we mentioned, Raymond Chevrolet is going to have that USO event coming up on July 13th. And then they were going to have a fall Cars and Coffee on Saturday, September the 28th. And so, just lots of opportunities for folks to meet drivers and get a close look at some of the drivers that compete at various places. Well, we're going to kind of bring Tim in first, because Tim may not be able to stay with us real long because he's with his grandson, or at his grandson's baseball game. Tim, welcome to the program. And first of all, how's the grandson doing? How's the team doing?
They're doing great. I think they're up by 3 runs right now, and they're doing real good. We're actually up here in Oak Creek, so you're probably going to hear a few airplanes go by as we're talking, because the airport's just right down the road.
Oh, you've got a worked out flyover, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the win last week at Wilmot. I enjoyed bringing you home on Flow Racing. Lauren was kind enough to let me call the last lap and bring you home. And it's been a while. How long has it been since you scored a win there at Wilmot?
We didn't win a feature at all last year, and it was the year before, so it would have been 2 years ago or a year ago. 2 years ago.
And I know that you kind of joked about the fact that you kind of beat the young guys, and we do have 2 of the young guys kind of waiting in the green room right now. And we're going to keep them in the green room for a little bit here while we talk to you. But tell us about that run. I mean, it was not an easy battle. I know the track was challenging. The drivers were challenging. The weather conditions were challenging. Everything was challenging.
Yeah, it was actually the first race in probably a year and a half I actually started on the front row. So that kind of makes a big difference with this group of guys we have now, like these young kids. They just stand on the gas the whole 25 laps or 20 laps and run wide open the whole race. And where I used to get out front and kind of ride, well, I didn't ride at all Saturday night. We got out front, we kind of checked out for a while. And it was kind of nice because I actually watched it on Flow last night for the first time. And it was pretty neat to see how we actually did run pretty good.
Now, it was kind of interesting, and you even made the comment in Victory Lane when you were interviewed by Maddie. You said that you kind of showed the guys that the old guy could run the high side, because you tend to stick to the low side, kind of a quote bottom feeder, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, Danny the dude Lasowski used to be a bottom feeder at Wilmot and have a lot of success doing that over the years. And you kind of like to run that low side, but Saturday night you went out there on the cushion.
Yeah, we ran the cushion, and if you remember years ago, Mike, back when we ran the modifieds, I know a guy kind of gave me the nickname the Moon Groove Driver, because we used to run so far out he thought we were up on the moon. So it's not that we don't run the bottom; it just it seems like the older you get, you don't have to run up there. And with our engines, the shortest way around the racetrack is actually the fastest way, but sometimes it's not, so you have to run the top.
Well, and folks that you want to thank to get to Victory Lane, because we want you to be able to get back to that ball game, because family time's important. And I know during racing season, none of us get a lot of family time. We're all busy doing different things and out doing promotions and all kinds of stuff. So go ahead and thank those sponsors that are always important.
Yep, the one that I forgot Saturday night was Richmond Hunt Club. That'll be the first one, and then William Myers Sons, Clayton City Garage, Beaver Dog Custom Lettering does a great job lettering my car all the time, and it's 90% of the time it's usually hand lettered. Super Shocks, Jack's Custom Helmets, DN Welding, and Bobby and Sally for working so hard on the cars.
Well, and the Richmond Hunt Club just came on board as one of our marketing partners here for the show. So
yeah, and I'd like to thank Tracy, my daughter, for doing my, I guess it would be my PR person.
Well, and we also want to thank. Go ahead.
I'm not on Facebook, so she keeps me alert and stuff, and so does Cheryl, my wife. And kind of looking forward to Saturday night for the USAC show. It's been, I don't know, I think the last time I ran a USAC car was 2006 at Winchester, and that was an asphalt race. So it's been quite a few years, and we're just going to go out and have fun and hopefully make the show. And if we don't, we're just going to go have fun.
Well, and also want to thank Tracy. She did a great job with what she sang.
What she's saying? Yeah, she did a real good job singing.
Yeah, she did a really good job singing Amazing Grace
Yes.
on Saturday in memory of some of the folks that we have lost. And I know that, and I don't want you getting emotional again on me because you got emotional when you mentioned it, but I had already said that your dad, the late Roger Cox, who was a starter for a lot of years at Waukegan and even up at Wilmot and other area tracks, that he was riding along with you on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely riding with us. I mean, it was just the extra kick that you always usually need. And I know with about 2 laps to go, my car sputtered down the front stretch, and I thought we ran out of fuel, but I think my ignition switch took a dump on us. So we put a new ignition switch on it, and hopefully it won't hiccup like it did last week.
All righty. Well, again, thanks for taking the time. Tracy, thank you for setting this up. I know she set the camera up and everything for us. We appreciate that. And Tracy will be singing the national anthem on Saturday at Wilmot, so we'll be looking forward to that and looking forward to seeing you do double duty. Now, you're going to be drinking like a ton of water between now and Saturday, since you'll be Saturday's supposed to be the hottest day of the week this week.
Yeah, I've been already hydrating. I've been drinking and drinking and drinking. So it's because it's supposed to be pretty toasty, and I'm not as young as I used to be, so we got to do the best we can.
And you're how young now? 64?
I'll be 64 in September.
64 in September. You still got a few years to catch up to me, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again, Tim. Congratulations again, and we'll see you on Saturday at Wilmot.
Yep. Have fun and keep these next two guys pretty straight. Hopefully, it won't give you no problems.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. God bless. Okay, we're now going to actually bring 3 drivers in. We've got CJ Leary is going to join us. He's a regular campaigner with USAC, runs the Silver Crown and just about everything that USAC sanctions, I think. He also runs the sprints. So this weekend he's going to run 3 nights in a row, starting out on Friday night up at Madison on the asphalt. Then Saturday night he'll be at Wilmot on the dirt and with his USAC Sprinter. And then on Sunday night he'll be at Angel Park with the USAC Sprinter again. CJ, welcome to the program.
Yeah, glad to be here.
And you've had some success over the years. You've won a championship with the USAC Sprints, and you right now, I believe you're second in points. Am I correct?
Yeah, second in points. We're trailing Logan by 21, so it's gonna be exciting this summer with the bunch of races we have coming up.
And I know this week you kind of got a little time off, so to speak. Now, last was it Saturday or Sunday you guys raced last?
We ran Sunday at the action track there in Pennsylvania.
And how'd you do on Sunday?
I think we finished 11th. Started 11th, finished 11th. Definitely wasn't our best showing, but the car rolled back in the trailer on that little racetrack, so I think it was a win.
There you go. That's what you always want to do, is put it back in the trailer like you took it out, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Now, this weekend, you've got 3 days in a row to run, starting Friday night up at Madison with the Silver Crown car, and then Saturday and Sunday with the sprint car. Tell us and tell our viewers and listeners a little bit what the difference is for you as a driver adjusting from the Silver Crown to the sprint car.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super hands-on with our sprint car program. I take care of it, crew chief it, drive the rig to the racetrack, wash it afterwards, pretty much handle all the maintenance. Me and our one crew guy, Zach, and then my dad comes along when he can and helps. So that side of things, we pretty much one-stop shop. But the Silver Crown, I drive for Bob East and Terry Klatt, and I pretty much just show up and, just drive and try and make the car as fast as possible. So completely different atmosphere for me. Just get a focus on driving, and sometimes that's really good, but a lot of times being more hands-on is more my cup of tea.
Now, Friday night up there at Madison, have you raced Madison before? And what kind of success have you had there in the past, if you have?
Yeah, this will be our third time running Madison. We actually won. We won our first time up there 2 years ago. We've really dominated that night, and then we went back last year and we had engine failure in practice, so we really didn't even get to try and defend our title there. But I don't know. Looking forward to making it back up there. It's a really fun.
Okay, and then now shifting gears, when you get into the sprint car on Saturday at Wilmot, what about that adjustment and going from the asphalt and the bigger car and the bigger engine, I believe that the Silver Crown has versus the Sprinter?
Yeah, just it's a whole new night. We have to re-rack completely, and we'll drive down to Wilmot, and hopefully we have better success there this year than we did last. I've only been to Wilmot once, so just hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we get a good feel for the dirt. Honestly, last year I feel like we were just a bit off, so looking forward to getting back down and hopefully have a good night on Friday night to have some momentum rolling into the weekend.
And sponsors and folks that helped you to get to the racetrack, you mentioned, and you're kind of the guy when it comes to the sprint car, but other folks that you want to thank, and definitely those marketing partners.
Yeah, honestly, without Brock Garrett and Doug Daugherty, our sprint car program wouldn't be here. Those guys put in all their time and money, honestly. And Hornbeck Concrete, they're our fuel sponsor, and Lugs Lawn Care, they take really good care of us. One Way Technologies, they give us great engines and just great feedback all year long. FK Rod Ends, Gray Auto, Highsmith Guns. We have so many good people that make this thing go up and down the road, and those are the main ones.
Now, I think you probably heard my interview with him, Tim Cox, and it's been a while since Tim's run with USAC. Like he said, the last time was Winchester on the asphalt quite a few years ago. But Tim just had some success last week in a wingless by us in the regular weekly show. He's looking forward to doing double duty on the same night, which at least you don't have to worry about doing that. But do you see sometimes the local guys having just a not necessarily an advantage, but a little bit of an advantage because they run the track every week. They know how the track acts. They know how it reacts. And, can they sometimes make some adjustments, or do you sometimes talk to the local guys and they share a little information with you?
Yeah, for sure. I think we saw it last weekend for Eastern Storm in Pennsylvania. Briggs Danner was kind of a standout all week, and, he kind of had home field advantage being able to race those racetracks, his whole career. I think it definitely helps those guys whenever we come into their territory versus them trying to come race at our home where we've all grown up racing. We've all gotten really good, but the USAC Sprint Car Series is so competitive right now. It's really going to be tough for an outsider to come in and kind of kick our butts. But looking forward to racing with those guys, and hopefully they have the best of luck.
And now, you do have a very long season. How many races are on the USAC schedule? Do you know?
I think we have 54. I think we had 54 on the schedule, or 53, something like that. And we haven't lost that many to Mother Nature. So we've gotten quite a few in this year.
Well, that's a good thing. That we've lost a couple of nights at Wilmot to Mother Nature so far, and as far as we're concerned, we're done with that now. So we're going to go through to September and get the rest of the season in. Now, do you worry at this point in the season? Do you worry at all about points, or do you just let them kind of come as they may, and just worry about where you're racing?
I think we obviously look at the points, but we take each night as a new night. We go out, we try and win races, and if we're out there doing the best we can and we're getting the top fives, and I think setting quick time, getting those 6 free points is huge. I think maybe if we have a bad night, we're looking at the points, or if Logan has a bad night, he might be counting the points, but it's a long season. Anything can happen. We've won one championship once, and I know what it takes to do it. So it's hard. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done. So just keep our nose clean and not have any, crashes. Honestly, if you crash or have a do not finish, it's definitely hard to overcome that.
You mentioned about, sometimes you want to try to have your advantage at your home or your home track. Where is home for CJ Larry?
I'm from Greenfield, Indiana. Our closest racetrack is probably Circle City or Gas City, one of those two, which we don't have Gas City on the schedule right now with promoter issues. But Circle City is only 25, 30 minutes away from us.
And will you be running there soon or sometime during the summer?
I think our next stop there will be during Sprint Week. I don't know the date exactly, but it is on the schedule.
Okay, well, we appreciate you taking time and wish you the best. Safe travels up to Madison and then on over to Wilmot. And we'll be looking for it. I might try to shoot over to Madison. I got another commitment early in the day on Friday, but I might try to shoot over there and see you guys run at Madison in the Silver Crown. And then I definitely will see you at Wilmot on Saturday night.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on, and stop by and say hello.
All right. Thanks a lot, CJ. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That was CJ Leary joining us all the way from Indiana. And like I say, we're just moving all over the place today. And now we're going to bring in a couple of the local guys, the young guns, as Tim Cox likes to refer to them. And ironically, this is the same shop that Tim's car comes out of. I think it still does. Not anymore?
We're at my shop, not Clayton's shop tonight.
Oh, we're not at Clayton's shop. You guys moved on me now. So you're confusing me. But anyway, all righty. So we're at Tyler Cuck's house's shop this time, and Clayton Ross. And you guys are really trying to screw me up. You changed shirts even. I just noticed that. So anyhow, first of all, guys, welcome to the program. And so folks out there, so our viewers keep it straight. The guy with the Cuck's House shirt on is Clayton Rossman, and the guy with the Rossman shirt on is Tyler Cuck's House, so that you don't get confused. Welcome, guys, to the program. I mean, you've gotten to listen to a couple of veterans when it comes to racing and when it comes to USAC racing. And I guess we'll start off with Clayton, because Clayton, you're going to run with the USAC guys on Sunday night. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. If everything goes to plan.
And you have you run with USAC in the past? I thought you ran a couple times last year, or maybe even the year before.
Yeah, I only made one USAC race at Wilmot last year. Then we run a lot of local shows in Indiana with the 410s.
Okay, and for you, what kind of an adjustment is there from a USAC car to a Wisconsin wingless car?
It's almost like driving a completely different race car. Has twice the power, 100 pounds less on the nose. There isn't much that carries over from one to the other.
Okay. And now, Tyler, you've had some success this year. A second-generation driver, Dad Scott, had a lot of success over the years in just about anything he drove. I asked him last year, and I guess I can ask you. I don't know if he's there or not. If he's going to ever get in a wingless car. Last year he said nope, but I don't know if that's still the case. If you'll ever get him talked into getting in one.
Nope. He has no plans of getting a wingless car. We're just racing with me here out of the shop, so only one car. He can't fit in my seat, so it's okay.
There you go. Well, you've had a lot of success this year in the overall Wisconsin Wingless Series, as well as the Wilmot Championship battle as well, as it's been going along. Tell the folks a little bit about how your season's been going.
Yeah, we've had two DNFs already, which hasn't been the best. But other than that, we've been running pretty good. This is our first full-time season, so racing every single weekend, competing with all the other good cars is a lot of fun and getting better each weekend. 2 weekends ago, when we had our triple header race, ended up picking up the win Sunday at Sun Prairie. So that's good to start the season off with a win. But, yeah, every weekend just getting better and learning more.
And now, Clayton, you've kind of changed a little bit this year for at least part of the year. You've been running an MSA car, a 360 car up at Plymouth is their home track. And I think I don't know if you've run any other outside shows with MSA yet this year, but tell us a little bit about how that ride came about and how it's been going for you.
Yeah, the Daywalt family gave me an opportunity we couldn't provide it for me, and we've had some ups and downs. Big learning curve, wing racing. We've had some bad luck too. Just trying to get laps with wings on, run some IRA shows and the MSA shows, and just getting laps.
So now this weekend, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's my understanding, you'll be at Plymouth on Saturday with the MSA, and then Sunday with the non-wing, the USAC car at Angel Park. You mentioned about the difference in the horsepower between a Wisconsin wingless car and a USAC car. Is there also a difference, I would presume so, between a 360 and a USAC car?
Yeah, that's even bigger of a jump from the wing stuff, anything with a wing, I think, to the non-wing. So the wingless is definitely closer to a 410 non-wing car.
Does it really change your driving style? I mean, do you still go into the corners pretty much the same, and do you still get on the throttle at pretty much the same spots, or maybe just slightly different?
No, it's pretty polar opposites. The non-wing car, you're setting it in the straightaway. Wing car, you kind of just drive it in the corner and try to be smooth and don't scrub too much speed off.
Okay, so you got a challenge this weekend now coming up, and since you've run a couple different things, and ironically, your dad, Pat Rossman, his success was never in an open wheel car. He had a lot of success in street stocks and sportsmen, and same with Tyler's dad. I mean, Dad had all the success with Fender cars. How are these guys helping you though now that you guys are in open wheel cars and winged or non-winged cars?
Yeah,
if we need to mute your dad, we will, Tyler.
My dad's my crew chief, so he's with me every single weekend at the racetrack, whether it's helping me with driving or helping me with the car. He's always there, right-hand man. Yeah, we butt heads, but usually we make up by the end of it. But definitely couldn't have done any of it without him and what he's taught me.
Yeah, my dad took to the non-wing stuff pretty easy and pretty naturally. I think it's the same concept. We're still learning the wing stuff. I don't know much about the wing stuff neither, so we're still just figuring that out.
And one thing I've noticed, at least for the most part, from my observation in the years I've been around racing, is racing is a family, and everybody, as much as sometimes you don't get along, and sometimes there'll be some yelling and occasionally even a push or a shove or whatever. When you really get down to it, I mean, we saw it last week in the IRA event when they had the flip in turn 4, and I saw a posting on Facebook of like 6 different crews that were helping to get that car back on the racetrack so he could get back out and race later on in the night. I believe that that's the same with you guys. I mean, there's a lot of people that will help you, especially like for you, Clayton. You're in a new environment, so to speak, with the 360 wing car. Do you find that the folks at Plymouth have kind of been helpful and been willing to talk with you and try to help you?
We kind of stick to ourselves. So if I kind of branched out and asked a little more than I do, the few people I've talked to have been very helpful. I know Donnie Gaden drove the second car this weekend. He did very good, and he helped me a lot with setup and driving tips. And then Tim Cox helps a lot, and Daywalts are very, very helpful and knowledgeable.
Okay. And Tyler, what about you? Do you find most of the drivers at Wilmot that have been running the wingless for a while, do you tend to find them willing to help out or chat with you or chat with Dad?
Oh yeah, for sure. We started off last year. We bought Tim Cox's old car, so he got me into the non-wing stuff and helped me all last year and still this year of getting it started. And Clayton here too, he's helped me. We're usually on the phone talking about random stuff with the race cars or if I'm racing, he's helping me, and if he's racing, I'm helping him. So we're always just learning together. And anyone in the pits, if you go up and ask them, they're ready to lend a hand.
Yeah, now the funny thing about it, and I guess I really date myself on these. I was announcing, obviously, your dads before you guys were even twinkles in anybody's eyes. And it is kind of cool to be announcing you guys now, and calling your successes. And I'll tell you, one guy that had some success at a young age is the guy wearing the Cucks House shirt. Clayton, you won your first championship at age 15. And I mean, you couldn't legally drive the car on the street yet. So tell the folks a little bit about that. How did you get started in your racing career? How young were you? And how come you thought you had such success? Where did all that come from?
So we got a go-kart from Raymond Hensley when I was like 8 or 9. Just to race up at Fort Atkinson on Sundays, just to have some fun. And then we try to travel just a little bit for a year or two. And then Todd Lear worked with my dad, and he talked Dad into buying a wingless car. Then Tim Cox held our hand through the whole thing and got me going. And we just get laps and laps. And the non-wing sides, really, I never had much interest in the fender cars, which Dad always kind of pokes at me for. And my biggest thing is I try to race as many nights as I can a year, wherever I can. And the more you move around and travel, the more different things you see. You don't get in ruts and habits. And that's just my big thing, is try to get laps.
Well, and I've mentioned this before. I mean, there's been some drivers that have had successes and won championships at Wilmot, and a lot of them have credited. The one that really comes to mind is Jimmy Mullis. He went to Florida and ran with the at that time, it wasn't even a World of Outlaws sanctioned event. It was just, sprint car speed weeks down there. They had 60 winged 410 sprint cars at Volusia at East Bay. And he ran down there with those guys and gals, and some young kid named Jeff Gordon, who had just come in from California and was like 15 years old, was running. And he came back that year and won the championship at Wilmot. And at the banquet, he credited what he did in Florida in February with helping him win at Wilmot because of the competition that he ran against. I see both you guys shaking your heads. Do you guys agree that really just that helps you spread out and spread your wings?
Yeah.
Tyler, go ahead.
You go.
Oh, I just know last season it was our best season, which that's the goals every year to get better. We ran like 7 nights down in Indiana, Putnamville, Paragon, Circle City, Gas City, before our season started up here. And it's the best I felt getting in a car. I think everyone else was still knocking the rust off, and I had already had 8 nights under my belt. And I think that helps more than anything.
Well, and that's, again, I think that does have a lot to do with it. You get to find out things. You get to run different things. Ryan Marshall won they called it, what was it, the Iron City or Iron Block or something, some kind of championship series that they had. Was that in Indiana?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Steel
that was-
Block Nationals.
Yeah.
Steel Block Nationals.
Which me and Tyler also won each one of those races. He won
I
at Gas
won
City.
last October at Gas City, and then you won in Kankakee this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Kankakee.
again, you guys get around, you get doing different things, and we've got a few minutes here left, and I always try to give the drivers a chance to get their sponsors in, and Tyler, you've done a great job. I mean, I can see Bodycraft in the background, I can see Super Shocks, I see Buying Basements. I mean, you did a pretty good job, positioning the camera. And also you've got the 53 up there for Tommy Homan, a long-time legend and good friend that goes back to my days at Waukegan, actually. So it's good to see that as well. So go ahead and get those sponsors in.
Yeah, obviously Super Shocks is the biggest one on the car this year. Bean Basements, LRD, Kutzler Express, C2 Motorsports, Morgan Jokes, Bodycraft painted this whole car. It looks awesome. Ultimate Graphics, BMRE, Avon Automotive, JB Earth, High Performance Lubricants, Bailings, A&A Magnetics, and Subzic Race Engines. All those guys really helped this year.
Okay, and now it's your turn, Clayton.
I gotta thank the Daywalt family for everything they do for me. They provide such great stuff for me. So then my parents for putting up with all this crap for all the years and doing this. And then McGill Trucking, Johnny Z's Poorhouse, Master Truck and Trailer, Lake County Hose, Bullseye Boring, CDA Services, Nick Carter Trucking. They all help a lot. And then the people who've helped me, Tim Cox, Joe Rowe, they've all helped me a lot. All the older guys. Yeah, that's think about it.
Okay, and now I'm going to put you both on the spot just a little bit, but we're going to start with Clayton. Did you graduate yet, Clayton? I mean, you've been racing so long, and I know there were nights that your dad actually in Victory Lane said Clayton's got to go home and do his homework. So have you finally graduated from Zion?
I graduated 3 weeks ago. Actually, I missed graduation, and I went up to Sun Prairie and raced with the IRA.
Well, how dare you?
You got his diploma. It's all that matters.
Chatty Matty handed my diploma for me. Took a little explaining to my mom and my grandma, but we got it done.
All right. Well, congratulations on graduating. And Tyler, what about you? I mean, how old or how young are you?
I'm 22 years old. And
I hope you graduated by now.
Yes, I did graduate in COVID, so my school was cut a little short. But right out of school, I went straight to Super Shocks and started as a machinist there, and now I build all the motorcycle and help with the racing stuff. So
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, then this weekend, will you be kind of doing double duty? You'll be racing, but then with the USAC guys coming in, I mean, I don't know. Do any of them run Super Shocks? Are you going to have to, work this weekend?
Yeah, no one on the tour that I know of is on them, but a lot of the guys in the Wisconsin wing list run them. And if they ever wreck anything or have any questions or concerns, they come to our trailer and we help them out.
Okay. So once again, we're going to see you Saturday at Wilmot, Tyler. Clayton, we're going to see you Sunday at Angel Park in the USAC car. Hopefully, all goes good. Tyler, now I've heard rumor that there's a few of the Wisconsin wingless guys that are going to go run with USAC on Sunday. Are you one of those guys, or are you going to just keep it a secret?
No, I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'll be on the forward pushing Clayton around.
Okay, well, that'll be fine. That'll be good. Again, thanks both of you guys. Thank your families too for all they've done and their friendship with me over the years. I love you guys to death. And I didn't get to interview. I've interviewed Clayton plenty of times in Victory Lane. Tyler, you got to do it because I haven't interviewed you yet at Wilmot, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, I gotta get better at Wilmot. We're struggling.
All right.
We'll get better.
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks again, guys. We wish you well. Now have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the races.
See you at the races.
Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. And that was Clayton Rossman and Tyler Cuxhouse. There was a quiz. If you definitely can figure out which is which, since they switched shirts on me. I think they did that on purpose. So that's going to wrap up this week's show. We got a lot of racing going on. You got Great Lakes Dragaway. You got Wilmot's going to be in action this weekend with USAC. You got the Silver Crowns up at Madison on Friday night. On Sunday, you got the USAC down at or over at Angel Park. It's just one big racing weekend. The bumper to bumper IRA cars, they're over at Indiana Race Week with the Maverick Mayhem. And then coming up, of course, at Wilmot Raceway, July 2nd, the Candy Drop. We want to thank Culver's, their involvement with that. And we have some other folks that are starting to get involved with that. July 10th, the World of Outlaws at Beaver Dam and that makeup date. July 11th through the 13th, go to Wilmot Raceway's website or Facebook page. There's all kinds of activities all day long at Wilmot. And then July 27th, the car show at Hartnell from 11 until 2. Just lots of on-track stuff, off-track stuff. Check out WilmotRaceway.com or the Wilmot Raceway Facebook page, and you can always tune us in at the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless everybody. And let's go racing.